Welcome to the Business Behind the Scene podcast with Francesca Moi, where we talk all about real business problems, real solutions, and getting actual results in your business. Hello, and welcome to episode number 59 of Business Behind the Scene. Now, this podcast is today being recorded from my home. So I started to decide that every Monday, I'm now going to be working from home in my new home office that I created, so that I can actually concentrate, so I can be proactive, record all the things that I need to record, be active on social media, and don't get lost into the business tasks. So I used to be a lot more active on social media, and I teach that. So I was like, oh my goodness, what's going on? Why am I not as active? What's happening to everything I'm doing? Why am I so stuck into doing all this stuff? So it was really scary for me, that I was like, I feel like a fraud. I'm teaching people how to be active on social media and I'm not as active as I would like to be. So how can I change that? So I tried different things and really wouldn't be working. And I will be pulled away from my team. And my ego, I think that my ego enjoyed that because I felt useful. Everybody would stop me and ask me a question and knock on my door, and instead of saying no, I'm recording right now, I would say yeah, sure, come in, because it's a great way to procrastinate, right? When you don't want to do something, when, as always, like you guys will know, when you have to record something, you just don't want to do it until you start doing it, and when you start doing it, you're actually enjoying it. So I was like, how am I going to walk my talk? I teach people how to be active on social media. How am I going to start doing it? So it has been an interesting year in 2020, and I was doing a lot of creation because of COVID. I had to change a lot of parts of the business, so I created a lot. I had to record a lot of stuff, but I was forgetting to look after the top of the funnel. I was very active on this podcast. I was very committed and very consistent, but anything that was like a spontaneous live or a spontaneous post or anything like that, I would stop doing it. So I was like, I had to really stop and think, okay, obviously what I'm doing right now, it's not working. So how am I going to change that? How am I going to actually get the results that I want to get into my business? So it was interesting because I was like, right, well, I'll teach this to people. I need to make sure that I walk my talk. So today's podcast is literally entitled A Message from Your Future You. What does that mean? Is that when I was like, okay, well, how am I going to solve this problem? I was thinking, what would my future self tell me right now? And to make that happen, I had to go back to things that I've done in the past that I succeeded at. And right now, as a future self to that past self, I'll be like, hey, well done on doing all those things. So I got the advice from my present self to my past self, and I'm like, oh my goodness, how am I gonna now make sure that I don't let my future self down? So this was huge because I was like, as I future self on my 2020 Francesca, am I disappointed? Well, a little bit, because I wanted to do more on social media and I didn't. So how can I make sure that next year future Francesca is not going to be disappointed with me right now? So she definitely won't, because I'm doing things right now, I'm changing things right now that I know are going to get results for the future Francesca. So I would like you to think exactly the same. Think about, what do you need to do today that is going to impact your future self? And it's fascinating because a lot of the things that we're going to do today, they are small and they seem silly and they seem like not as important as answering a question from one on your team, as talking finances, as watching budgets and on all the stuff, right? So I was like, I need to do this 3-minute video, but I'm just going to skip it. Instead of saying this 3-minute video it's going to impact my future self hugely. So I wish someone told me this when I first started a business, or when things changed in the business and I started to wear more hats. It's fascinating because as I started to hire people in the business, I was like, oh, finally, I can take this hat off and give it to that person, and take this hat off and give it to that person. But you actually don't fully take the hat off. You still have to put it back on to make sure that you supervise and you manage and you do all of that. So that's how I got stuck in the business, because even though I had people doing things for me, I was still be the person that I had to check on the work and give ideas and strategize and all of that. So the hat was always on. And so I've really struggled to truly slow down and do this small task, the task that nobody is watching you, right? Nobody is telling you, oh, very disappointed, Francesca, you didn't do that 3-minute video. Nobody will know today, but you will know in a year time. You will know in 2 years time. You will know if you haven't done the little one thing every single day. So the question I ask myself is, what do I do when nobody's watching? What do I do when nobody is watching? That is one of the things that a lot of people in business, they just don't realize how priceless it is to be consistent also when nobody's watching. What I mean by that, when I first started recording this podcast, nobody was listening to it, right? When I first started to do Facebook Lives, nobody would watch them. When I first started to post on my social media, nobody would be active. When you are new to a social media platform, or when you are first starting running workshops, nobody's coming. So all of those things is like you either give up or you keep doing them, knowing, having that certainty that in the future, it will pay off. So that was one of the things that I chose to do this year, of going, okay, well, I do want to be more consistent with social media. I do want to walk my talk, and I do want to follow my own strategy because I know it works. And so I need to find and change environment and find a way for me to stop procrastinating. Even though procrastinating is quite a tough word, because I wasn't procrastinating because I was actually helping my team and doing other stuff, right? So my brain would be like, I'm not lazy, I'm not doing anything, I'm actually working so hard. Yes, I get it, but at the same time, you're not fulfilling. I wasn't fulfilling my calendar. I wasn't following what I meant to be doing, and it would be truly disappointing. Like at the end of the day, I will feel like, oh, I haven't done a Facebook Live today either. Oh, so every day, even though I did everything that was in my calendar except the one thing, I will be disappointed with myself. So I choose not to be disappointed anymore. And I choose to go, do you know what? I'm going to find a way. If I have to change my plans, if I have to change my routine, if I have to change my strategy, I will do whatever it takes for me to be proud of myself at the end of every day, because I'm doing those little things that nobody sees today. But the future, they will notice, they will see it, they will pay off. So I really am so grateful for learning this strategy years ago, and I still fall into the trap of getting distracted with something else, but then I catch myself and go, I'm doing that thing, let's go back. And so when I go back, then I know that I know how to do it because I've done it before. So it also starts from more than that. So this is we're going a little bit deeper here, because I realized that part of being proactive and succeed and follow your own strategy is not just, oh, well, have a task and just go and do it. It starts from the moment you wake up. The moment you wake up, and I know that for sure that it's for me. You need to test it out if that is the same for you. But for me, is that when I wake up in the morning, if I, for some reason, listen to my ego that says, oh, 5 more minutes, press the snooze button, just let's lay here and cuddle for a little bit longer. If I listen to that voice, instead of alarm goes off and boom, off I wake up, or even before the alarm. Sometimes I wake up before the alarm goes off and I just go, stand up, go, put my gym gear on and go for a walk. Instead of rolling and doing, right? Instead of like just procrastinating, just get up and go. That one choice in the morning will change the trajectory of that day. That one choice, if I choose, okay, I'm going to go ahead, okay, I'm just going to wake up and go. If I do that, then my whole day is going to be super productive. My whole day I'm going to be in a greater mood, I feel proud, I feel excited, I'll just gain momentum. But if I choose not to do that, that's when then that ego feels like it's won. And when the ego feels like it's won, just then it creeps in every little other decision throughout the day. Maybe I just have this chocolate, or maybe I just have these soft drinks, or maybe I just won't go as a bigger walk today. I just do 20 minutes rather than a half an hour. Or maybe then today I have to get takeout. I don't feel like eating what I've already got ready today. Right. So that little voice will win in so many decisions in your day in my day, because that's happened to me, if I don't win over the first thing in the morning. Now, what I've won throughout the years is that usually in the past, if I would snooze my snooze button, then it means no exercise a day whatsoever, no walk whatsoever, no eating healthy, like everything will go through the bin. Now it's not like that anymore. And that's why it's even harder to catch it, because even though I snooze, when I wake up, I still put my gym gear on and I still go for that half an hour walk morning and afternoon. I still do that no matter what. So I've been thinking, wow, to make that change and for me to that be my routine, no matter what, I had to make the decision consciously every single day for a long time, at least a year, for me to now be, no matter what, I go for my 30-minute walk every single day. No, there's no fail. So in the past, it didn't used to be like that. So now I know for sure that I can change my story and I can go, no matter what, I will do my Facebook Live every day. No matter what, I will do my post every day. No matter what, I will do my 3-minute video recorded every day. So when you listen to this, I know that some of you are thinking, do we have to? I can hear you. I know what you're saying. I know you're saying, do I really have to be active every day on social media? This is painful. Isn't there a faster way? Are you sure that this is the only way to be successful in business? Look, I'm sure. I'm sorry to give you that news, but I'm sure. The reason being is that the other day I saw this post from someone that was a very successful business owner and had lots of likes and lots of followers and lots of engagement. And she did this post saying, listen, you don't have to listen to all those business coaches that tell you that you have to be active on social media every day, that you have to do lives. Stop with that hustling. You don't have to hustle anymore. You don't have to post daily anymore. You don't have to do all those things anymore. You don't have to, period. And I was like, wow, okay, did she found the strategy that I don't know about? So I just kept reading and she got me, right? So I kept reading and I was so thankful to be able to see between the lines and go, she said at one point, I did this for years. I hustled for years until I found a better way. But I'm like, wait, if you didn't do that for years, if you didn't build that trust with your audience, if you didn't show up consistently, if you didn't do all the things that now you're saying to everybody not to do, you probably, no matter what you create now, it will not work. You have created a foundation and now anything and everything you do works. I guarantee that. I agree with that. Then I jump onto a business page and guess what? There is a video literally every single day. There is action. There is so much value in there that even if she skips a day, it won't matter because there is so much content for people to consume. So listen, if it's done every day or if it's done once a week, or it doesn't matter. As long as you're consistent, eventually it will pay off. Eventually, those 3-4 videos that you've done every single week, those 3 or 4 posts that you've done every single week, it will pay off, because people will be able to scroll on your page and see value and watch you for hours and make a decision if they want to work with you or not. But again, this woman that was saying everybody stop, I'm like, come on, you did it. That's why you got success now. If you didn't do all of that hustling in the first few years, would you be where you are now? I doubt it. I strongly doubt it. So going back to the future self, right? So her future self now is looking back and say, you didn't need to do all those things. I don't believe it. That's your ego. That's not your future self, right? Your ego will tell you, oh, just stop. You don't have to do all those things that you didn't want to do. But listen, if I didn't write a chapter every week for my book, or every month for my book, I wouldn't have written a book, right? So I had to go through and write every chapter. You have to go through and do your videos. You have to do the things that you don't want to do today to be able to have the success tomorrow. It's a no-brainer. So ask yourself, what is my healthy routine? What is the thing that I need to do in the morning to make sure that I'm the most productive during the day? What is the one thing that I choose to do in the morning that will create momentum in my life? What is the tool or thing that I've got to do every day, or a couple of times a week, or 4 times a week, that's going to give me momentum in 5 years? I am so grateful for that, Francesca, that last January in 2020, she made a decision to start this podcast, because now we have over 4,000 listeners. We got reviews. By the way, if you're listening, you're loving this, and you haven't left a review, I would love you to leave me a review. Please, that would be amazing. I love to see your reviews. I love to see your feedback. So what are the things that you have done when nobody was watching, when you didn't get an award for it, when you didn't get praise, but you just kept doing consistently, that eventually got you results? For me, was when I chose to stop eating unhealthy, and I chose to every day be healthy. That's how I got to this weight that I'm really happy with right now, right? This is how I got to this body. I didn't wake up with this healthy body, right, fit body. I chose to go to Pilates every day. I chose to exercise every day. I chose to walk twice a day. I chose to eat healthy. I chose to stop pasta and pizza. I chose to stop with all the carbs, right? I make decision, not once, every single day, also when nobody is watching. So you need to make that relationship with yourself and go, okay, I'm going to choose the things because I want to have success in the future, because I want to have that result in the future. Therefore, I'm choosing, I want to do these things. A lot of people go into the like, I should. You don't should anything. You want to. And the moment that you make that decision on wanting, then your future self knows that is what is going to bring you success. So connect, have a relationship with your future self. Your present self now, it is the future self of your past self. So build that relationship first, and then you'll be able to build a relationship with your future self. And it's incredible. It's so beautiful and powerful, because now all the time that nobody's watching, your future self is. Your future self will be there to give you the support, to give you the insights, to give you that acknowledgement, and to give you that reassurance that everything that you're doing today, even if nobody else is watching, your future self is. So do it for your future self. Do it for you. Your future self will be so grateful for you doing all these little small tasks today that they're boring, that you don't want to do, but they will pay off long term. So my beautiful friends, go and join doing those things that nobody else does. Successful people have consistency. Successful people, they are consistent in the things that nobody else want to do. I hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast. I love to see you next week. We've got some really incredible topics coming up for you in the next few months. So keep it up. Let's do it. Thank you for watching. Bye. Hey, if you enjoy listening to this podcast, then you have to come check out my Facebook group, Entrepreneurs Abundance Mindset. It's a community of over 9,000 business owners that are also ready to boom their businesses. Don't forget to also hit the subscribe button on this podcast and leave a review so that you can win a ticket to my Invisible to Invincible workshop. I'll see you next week.